it's not about the money as much as it is that he needs
Professional validation.
to prove to himself and to those around him. But yeah, that look, you said I couldn't do this. I wrote a #1 hit.
Yep. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Hey Ryan.
Hello.
So my love for musical films is boundless, as you know.
Sure.
But I'm learning to love them more. Director John Carney directed a couple of films that a lot of my fellow critics here in Utah loved to death, and I didn't watch for a long time. Sing Street is the big one. Everyone loved Sing Street from 2016, and I was like, it's a teenage Irish musical.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against the Irish because my wife is one, but it's great. I watched it. I loved it. It's wonderful. He also did Flora and Son on Apple TV Plus, which again I enjoyed the hell out of. I need to see Once.
Once was the first. Yeah, that was where it kind of kicked off. Begin Again.
Yeah, and those two are the big ones. But so that's he loves music. He loves Ireland because So yeah. Obvious. So this one that we're going to talk about is called Power Ballad. Bit of a departure from the other two that I've seen Sing Street.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas. Paul Rudd plays Rick, washed up wedding singer who used to have a rock band, but came to Ireland on tour, got married, had a kid, gave up touring, wound up in the Bride and Groove wedding band, the grooviest wedding singers in Ireland, I believe is the motto on the van. Danny is played by Nick Jonas, who's a former boy band star, who is the one boy band guy who hasn't gone on to superstardom after they broke up.
Yeah.
So he's trying to come up with ideas. They meet at a wedding. They work out a little bit together. They drink, they smoke pot, they
jam
music, they talk music, they jam. And 6 months later, Danny finally releases a single that the world goes nuts for. They're like, this is it. This is the one that's there. And it's a song that Rick wrote and played for him while they were drunk and high.
Yeah.
And so the movie is about Rick trying to get credit for his song.
And to be clear, he knows that he didn't write the song.
Danny knows he did not write the song.
He is perfectly aware that he didn't write it. He may he pretend that he may be like, we were, I don't know, and da. But he is. So there is kind of a darker element to this story
this exposes a lot of the music industry.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this isn't completely far-fetched.
No, sure, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So Paul Rudd's Rick is trying to get Danny to acknowledge him, at least as a co-writer.
Yeah, it's a really kind of an interesting dynamic because he doesn't necessarily. It's not about the money as much as it is that he needs
professional validation
to prove to himself and to those around him. But yeah, that look, you said I couldn't do this. I wrote a #1 hit.
Yep.
Now, and his claim isn't that Danny didn't add anything to it, or that he could have done it on his own.
Nope. And I love the fact he tells me, he goes, you made this song incredible. You knocked it out of the park. But it's my song.
Yeah. And so yes, and may it be said that there are many a band that have been destroyed by writing credits. And the inability to share writing credits and whatnot. So all of his films are kind of grounded in something, but this one's, it's still, there's still a lot of folly in this.
Yeah.
But there is, it's a very real thing at the heart of this. And it is a commentary on the music industry, as well as the insanity that an artist, the lengths that they'll go to prove themselves, or to, because Danny has been written off.
Yeah.
He's the member of the boy band who needed the boy band, and that's just how it is. He's not going to have a solo career. It's not going to work for him. He can keep trying, and he's trying, but his bid to be a serious artist is failing.
Yep.
So there's lots of, Rick has his own thing, Danny has his own thing, and the industry is kind of doing its thing to both of them. So it was not as lighthearted as I had hoped it would be, but I didn't really even know what the story was, and unfortunately, I don't think you can do this story completely lighthearted. There's just way too much at stake, as far as, it's not necessarily ego, but as far as just the way a person views themselves and their ability.
Well, what Rick says, he goes, I need to know that I'm not insane.
Yeah.
Because he can't prove it. It's not written down anywhere. Nobody heard them jam it together. He doesn't have a rough cut recording on his laptop.
Because he had never been able
on it for decades.
Yes, he hasn't been able to finish it. And that's an interesting element as well, because Danny is able to finish. And there are things that Danny says when he hears the song, that he says, "Oh, you need a bridge," and Danny figures out how to do the bridge, which is what unlocks the song. But Rick needs the validation.
The part that everyone, even like before he fixes the bridge,
yes,
the part that gets Danny's girlfriend is the shit that Rick wrote.
Yes.
And it's the choruses.
And it's the reason why he plays it for the girlfriend is because he's so frustrated that he can't write the thing that moves his girlfriend.
So he doesn't know she's listening, and he's on the piano, and he starts playing that. And then he gets trapped.
Well, there's ego.
Right.
And the irony here is this film could be completely different based on the decisions that Danny makes in that moment.
Yep.
Because the reason why Danny knows Rick is Rick's band played at a wedding of a friend of his.
Yep.
And he ended up getting on stage and performing with the band,
right,
by the request of his friend. And turns out to be not the person they expected him to be, in the sense that Rick expects him to have no musical knowledge.
Right.
Like, it's like, what song do you want us to play for you? What do you actually know that we could possibly play?
What's next on the set list? And they picked was I Wish.
Yeah. And the fact that
we got that.
And the fact that he knows what that is and is able to perform that is the thing that opens the door to Rick going, wait a minute, maybe I had the completely wrong idea about who this guy was.
Yep.
Or who these,
This film really could have taken another.
It could have gone. It could have,
because when he's playing stuff that he worked on with Rick.
Yeah.
In Ireland, he goes back to LA, and he's letting his girlfriend listen to it. He goes, yeah, and then you get a good performer to come in or producer to come in, and polish the edges and build it up. And it's like he could have had Rick as a producer, or again as an engineer, or
a co-writer. In this sense,
they could have been a writing team.
This story could have been, because his performance at the wedding went viral.
Yes,
but the spin that it's being presented to him as is that, see, you're nothing better than a wedding singer.
Yeah, and that's his agent saying that.
So this story, and this is not the film you get, but the story could be him saying, well, these are the songs I wrote with this guy, and it's going to be a hit.
Yep.
And he could be fully acknowledging this was co-written or helped by, and that happens in the industry all the time. And nobody cares who the co-writer is.
Nope.
but he doesn't choose that. So and that's where this, I mean, this film could have been fun in that it's about a boy band guy who finds the person who can help him escape the boy band thing, and it's a wedding singer of all people.
Right.
Or, it's this guy who had a minor hit in the early 90s with this band and actually that part happens. There are a lot of artists in the 90s who had minor success on their own, who then turned into writers. They transitioned from performer to writer and have had, extended careers working with, in some cases, one artist, in other cases, numerous artists.
Yep.
I mean, it's there's any number of people that you could point to that had, maybe they're one hit wonders on their own, but they've actually written like 20 number one songs.
Right. And they sit and they produce and they do all that stuff behind the scenes now.
Yeah. And so
this movie could have been that.
It could have been that, but it's not that. And so it becomes this, that's the fun version. This version is the man desperate again, and it's not really about money, although everyone thinks it is.
Right.
But I think he's the only person that
really isn't about money.
No, it's not about the money. It's about being recognized, because everyone's been like, dude, you tried, you got further than most people, but you didn't get there.
Yep.
And you're not going to get there. And you should kind of give up on that dream, or,
Yep.
And it's him refusing to give up on the dream, and then the dream becoming a nightmare, basically.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I think it's a good film.
Yeah. And I think sad to say, like I said, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Rudd's going to bring in a certain audience. Jonas is going to bring in a certain audience. And I think both of those audiences will be surprised at what they get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they actually do work when they're together and working. Those are really good scenes.
Yeah. No, it's, and again, you have a director who clearly understands the unexplainable thing about music. Just how it impacts people and how it drives people, and you either get it or you don't, and he gets it, and he somehow is able to convey that.
Yeah.
Which, there are a lot of movies about music that fail entirely to capture what it is that makes people like music, or what makes people passionate about writing music, or what, whatever it is.
Yep.
And this is a film that kind of gets the fragile ego, the insanity of being an artist, it gets so many things right. It's not a perfect film but there's nothing there that I would be like, oh, this has to go. There are little things that I would probably, but.
And this one's quick.
It is quick.
It's 98 minutes.
Yeah. And again, it never overstays.
It never glosses anything. Everything that's in here matters.
Yeah. And, I mean,
even the slow moments at home with his wife and daughter.
Sure.
When this first hits, it's a slow bit, but it's not slow.
I think for me, the scene that was the riskiest that actually ended up working really well is the dream sequence.
When he's performing?
Yes. And so you have this dream sequence, and you're like, okay, this is interesting. Because you kind of know this is a dream sequence. I mean, he's on an airplane, he falls asleep, but it's where that song goes, or that dream goes. And you're like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's pretty horrific. If that is what your brain is taken out of this journey you're on, that's a pretty messed up, nightmarish dream. I mean, that's, and I think that nailed it for me. It's like, that's weird, but oh my gosh, that dream. Wow. Yeah, I think that sums up the way he feels in a way that you can't present in any other way than a dream. He certainly couldn't explain it. Like if you talked what that dream was, I don't think it's effective.
Right.
But when you watch it, you're like, oh, okay, now I get a better grasp of what's going on internally.
Right. All right. Well, that is Power Ballad. Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas, in theaters June 5th. From Lions, not Lionsgate.
Yep.
Lionsgate, yeah. Really?
Yes.
Wow. There you go. Surprisingly more entertaining than I thought, but happily so.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I just did the pedigree of it. I thought it was going to be good. And again, I think I was in the mood maybe for something a little more lighthearted. Like again, the alternate story that we could have got that we didn't get.
Right. Well, you know what's funny is that that was the third movie I watched yesterday.
Yes, you went hardcore.
I watched two horror. I watched Obsessed and Passenger, and then finished it up with Power Ballad. So it was definitely a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
And not that I didn't enjoy those other two, and we'll talk about those eventually. But yeah, it's like, oh, if I'd have done like Obsessed, Passenger, Backrooms,
yeah, that would have been
a heavy day.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Power Ballad at theaters June 5th. Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas, directed by John Carney. Definitely check it out. It's rated R because lots of language.
Yeah.
A little bit of fighting, but a lot of language.
Yeah, it's pretty much all language, but
So there you go. Don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website vsmoviepodcast.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, click subscribe and like and leave us a comment. Let us know how you think we're doing. And go see a good movie in theaters this weekend or every weekend if you have a chance, because there's a lot of them out there. Till we talk again, be good, stay safe. I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, folks.
And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.